Have you ever thought about what it takes to take a single breath? It's something we do thousands of times a day, but it's an absolutely incredible journey. Today, we're going to follow that journey step by step through one of the most amazing systems in the human body.
Take a breath right now. Go on. You'll do that about 20,000 times today. It's this quiet, constant rhythm, a silent engine that's literally powering your entire life, and you don't even have to think about it.
But have you ever stopped to wonder, where does that air actually go? It's not just a simple in and out. It's this complex, super fascinating trip from the world around us, deep into the microscopic core of our bodies. So here's our roadmap for this explainer. We'll trace the pathway in, then we'll witness the great gas exchange, we'll look at the bellows of the body, find out how it all runs on autopilot, and finally, we'll talk about our lungs and our world.
Okay, let's dive right in. The journey starts the second that air enters your body. But, it's not a straight shot to the lungs. The air has to get prepped first.
First stop is the nasal cavity. You can think of this as the system's own little reception area and conditioning center. All these intricate structures you're seeing, they warm the air up to body temperature, they add moisture, and they trap all the big particles like dust and pollen before they can get any further. It's an amazing filter.
Okay, so from there, the now conditioned air flows down into the trachea, which you probably know as the windpipe. This tube is the main highway leading deep into your chest, and it's even reinforced with these C-shaped rings of cartilage just to make sure it stays open.
And this is where it gets really cool. The trachea splits into two main branches, called the bronchi, one for each lung. And then, just like an upside-down tree, they branch again and again and again into smaller and smaller airways, creating this huge network to make sure air can get to every single part of the lungs.
And get this, lining that entire network is an incredible self-cleaning system. What you're looking at here are cilia. They're tiny, hair-like structures that beat together, like 12 to 15 times every second. They act like a microscopic escalator, constantly sweeping mucus, trapped dust, and germs up and out of your airways. Pretty amazing, right?
Okay, so we followed the air all the way down the branches of this tree. Now let's get to the leaves, the destination where the real magic happens.
At the very, very end of the tiniest branches are these super delicate, clustered air sacs called alveoli, and you have about 300 million of them. If you could somehow spread them all out flat, they would cover the area of a tennis court. No joke!
So each little cluster of alveoli is wrapped in this dense web of tiny blood vessels, capillaries. And this is the marketplace. It's here that oxygen from the air you just breathed in passes through these incredibly thin walls and into your red blood cells. At the exact same time, carbon dioxide, a waste product from your body, travels the other way to be breathed out.
And if we zoom way in, down to the molecular level, you can see just how elegant this whole process is. See, carbon dioxide isn't just floating around freely. It's mostly carried as something called bicarbonate in the blood. When it gets to the lungs, it pops into a red blood cell, and an enzyme instantly converts it back into CO2 gas, all ready for the journey out.
So we've seen the pathway and the incredible exchange, but what's the engine that actually drives it all? Let's zoom back out and look at the powerful yet really simple mechanics of how we move all this air.
This shows the beautiful efficiency of it all. To breathe in, your diaphragm, that big muscle below your lungs, it contracts and flattens out, while your rib muscles pull your chest up and out. This makes your chest cavity bigger, creating a vacuum that just sucks air in. Then to breathe out, those muscles just relax and the air is pushed out. It's just a beautiful, efficient pump.
And we can actually measure how much air this pump is moving. This graph here shows the volume of air in the lungs over time. Each one of those waves represents a different kind of breath, from just a calm, resting breath to a really deep, forceful one. So these small, regular waves you see, that's your tidal volume. It's the amount of air that moves in and out with each normal, relaxed breath you take, when you're not even thinking about it. For most of us, that's about half a liter of air. Now, see that much bigger wave? That represents your vital capacity. That's the total usable volume of your lungs, the absolute maximum amount of air you can possibly breathe out after taking the deepest breath you can possibly take. This is a really key measure of your overall lung health and strength. Okay, so we've seen the path, the exchange, the mechanics. But how does your body do all this 20,000 times a day without you having to consciously command every single breath? I mean, who's in charge here? Well, the answer is deep in the most ancient part of your brain, the brainstem. A region called the medulla oblongata is basically the respiratory control center. It generates this steady, rhythmic nerve impulse that travels down to your diaphragm and rib muscles, telling them exactly when to contract and when to relax. But it's not just a simple timer. It's a super sophisticated feedback system. And here's the surprising part. The main trigger for you to take a breath isn't a lack of oxygen. It's a buildup of carbon dioxide. Special sensors in your brain and arteries detect when CO2 levels are rising, and they signal the control center to speed up and deepen your breathing to clear it out. It's a perfect self-regulating loop.
So we've journeyed through this absolutely incredible biological machine. It's really robust, but it's also very delicate, and it's constantly interacting with the world around us. So why does understanding all of this actually matter?
Because this amazing system is vulnerable. Things like asthma can constrict those airways. Infections, like pneumonia, can fill those precious alveoli with fluid. And chronic diseases like COPD, which often comes from smoking, can literally destroy lung tissue. And as you can see here, even things like dust and fumes at work can lead to diseases that permanently block that vital gas exchange. Every single breath you take is a testament to this intricate, elegant system. It's a silent engine working tirelessly to power every moment of your life. And knowing its journey, from the air outside all the way to the cells inside you, is a powerful reminder of just how precious it is. So the real question is, how will you protect yours?